Morning everybody, it's Phil here from Telford Koi Pond on a very wet, dank, horrible, grey Saturday morning. So what do you do to cheer yourself up on these sort of mornings? You go and look at some fish. So we're just off to Shirley Aquatics in Birmingham. It used to be a regular haunt of mine when we had the previous pond, but I haven't been there for 20 odd years, and I think they've moved premises and all sorts since. So really excited, going to have us a look at some fish, and hopefully we'll get some footage when we're there, so I'll speak to you in a bit. So back again, it's now Sunday. Yesterday was an awful day, as you know. We did go to Shirley Aquatics, as I said. Pretty horrendous journey, if I'm honest. Forgot that Newcastle were playing at Villa, so the motorway was pretty snarled up. But anyway, we got there. Being honest, a little bit disappointed. The Shirley Aquatics I remember from 20 years ago was like the centre of the universe when it came to sort of koi keeping around here. But they've downsized a little bit. But the main thing for me was just they had lots and lots of fish, but they were all Israeli koi. And you can just clearly tell the difference, so I came away empty-handed and thought we'd go to another local fish supplies this morning. So we had a ride over there this morning, again full of high hopes, buying new fish. We turned up and basically they'd ripped all their tanks out because they're having all their koi section redone. So all the koi were in a big quarantine vat out the back and you couldn't purchase any of them, so wasted journey, to be honest. But there you go, we'll look forward to when they've got the new vats done and we can perhaps go and have a look again. So today is really just a little bit, hoping to show you some new fish, but literally just a catch up on where we are with everything. So I've just finished clearing the quarantine tank, grow on tank, whatever you want to call it. So that's why it's filling up at the moment. I'm not sure you'll see any of the fish, but you might just catch a glimpse of them. They're still very, very skittish. Just take this out for a minute or two. So we normally get to see the 4-step kahaku that I bought at the BKKS last week. You might have just got a snippet of him then, but yeah, they're still a bit skittish at the moment, to be honest. I suppose it's all very new to them, so we'll leave them to it. But the quarantine tank's working, you know, working fine with the original filters that it had on when it was in the garage. Keep the cover on. Got herons, cats, foxes, all sorts around here, so keep the cover on and just put a bit of extra weight on it to keep it down. But yeah, they're doing okay, so pop out and have a look at the main pond now. Okay. So because we've been out most of the morning, I haven't actually took the covers off the fish yet. So just take these off. Again, they're still temporary. Haven't got round to doing the proper ones yet, but hopefully you'll try and get the fish up with a bit of food. Telford Koi Pond food dispenser. The water's still very clear. I mean, everything's working, you know, really well. Come on, guys. Biggie Smalls is normally first up. I'm still running the automatic feeder, so I've got no idea what the time is. 18 minutes past 3. I'll just see it on there. So they would have been fed at 3 o'clock, which probably explains why they're not very hungry at the minute. But hopefully you can see them all in the water. They're all doing well. They're all still growing. Here we go. Didn't think it'd be long. And somebody's up before Biggie Small today, so that's a bit of a new one. He normally muscles his way to the front. So yeah, everything's still working. Obviously the air source heat pump isn't coming on at the minute because I've only got it set at 18 and it's maintaining 18 degrees anyway. As I just said, I'm still using the fish feeder, so 3 times a day on that, and then obviously when I'm round and about I just throw some extra bits and pieces in. Garden's looking a bit untidy at the minute, so just change of plans for next year. We didn't really know what to put in to grow up here. We looked at wisteria and all sorts, and we ended up with sweet peas just because they grow quick. But they're a blooming nightmare when they drop all the petals all over the place, all the flowers. But there you go. And a bit of self-indulgence on this one. I would just like to just say a big thank you to our very dear friends Jean and Alan. My wife mentioned that she really liked this plant that was in my mum and dad's garden, and we went out to visit mum and dad yesterday, and Jean and Aaron very kindly bought us one, so we'll get that planted as soon as we can. So thank you very much appreciated. Okay, and with that, just have a quick look and see what's new in the filter house. So very quickly, just forgot to mention before we started this, we're actually filming this on the new camera. So you all know how professional and fantastic my wife's camera work is. If this one's a bit worse, it's because it's a new camera, we're just getting used to it. A bit strange to me because it looks like she's pointing a gun at me, which is a little bit unnerving, but there you go. So in the filter house, again, not really much to talk about. Everything's still working as it should be. Quick look at the filters. So we've got 80 litres of Helix 13 in here now in total. So that's bubbling away nicely, nice colour. And every week I do throw in a handful of Evolution Aqua Pure Pond balls just to help with the filter, help the biological stuff. But yeah, it's all working fantastically. You know, it's cleaning. You saw the quality of the water when you were looking at the fish earlier. It's really clean. Very little particulates in there. The one thing that is new is the RO filter machine, whatever you want to call it. I've been thinking about these for a while. And it's sort of last week before doing tests on the water, my general hardness has always been about 12ish, and then it crept up to 15 and it crept up to 18, and when I tested it last week or the week before, it was up at 20. So I tested the water coming straight out of the tap and it was at 26, because living in Telford it is a really hard water area. And looking at ways around that sort of thing, RO reverse osmosis machines seem to be one of the ways around it. So I went to the BKKS, as you know, on last Sunday, and Vyair had a stand there. So I've been looking at these for sort of 160, 180 pounds, and they had the RO-300 on offer, basically 100 pounds. So, you know, not far off half price. So I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. So it's a temporary home, obviously, it's just standing there at the minute, but it is all plumbed in. So where I used to have my hose pipe coming out the back and into the trickle in section there, that now feeds into the RO machine filter. This is the actual RO water that's coming out of it, and I've got that turned down to 200 millilitres a minute. So that's roughly between sort of 15-20% water change of the whole pond every month. And then the waste then just goes through that other pipe that you can see going in front of the filter, and again into the waste pit where everything else discharges. Now I have a confession to make. When we were at the BKKS, met up with Steve from Cat and Eye, good man. And he did a 10 in 10, so he interviewed me. One of the questions he has asked was, if you were any advice to anybody just starting up in the hobby, what would it be? And my answer to that question was research, because it'll save you a lot of time and a lot of money. What didn't I do with this? Research properly. What I didn't realise until I come to plug it all in, I thought, very much like the Vyair water purifiers, I thought wherever water went in one end came out the other end purified. But with an RO machine it's slightly different. So you do have this water coming out, which is the RO water, the super clean water, but you actually have waste running at the same time. So I think it's something like for every 200 millilitres, for every minute there's 200 millilitres going into the pond, but there's 400 millilitres of wastewater going to waste. And that's how they work, and I hadn't realised that, so I won't be running this all the while because I'm on a water meter. So what I shall do is perhaps run it at the weekends or something like that. I'm still playing with it, so once I've figured out what to do. But the one thing I have done, as I say, I tested the pond water and I was up at 18 on the general hardness. Tested the tap water and it was at 21 on the general hardness scale using well, I can't remember, might be by test kits, I can't remember what test kits I'm using at the minute. But I tested this water and it's 1. So absolutely it will address the hardness, but obviously the more I use this, the softer the water's going to get until it's too soft. So I've clearly got some work to do with this, getting to understand how long I can run it for before it starts to really bring the hardness of the water down, because I still want the hardness. Obviously it still needs to be a certain hardness. So yeah, watch this space. I'll let you know how I get on with this. As I say, this is the first time it's been running. I've literally only run it before today just to clear all the canisters. This is the first proper test, so I'm going to leave it running for a couple of days. I'll test the water, leave it running for a couple of days, test the water, just see what difference it is. So yeah, there you are. I think that's where we're up to at the moment. As I say, I've got nothing really earth-shattering to tell you at the moment. Still looking for new fish, so hopefully one of the videos very soon will be new fish. Need a nice Shiro Atsuri, so if anybody knows a dealer that's got some nice, I'm only looking for small ones, looking for some small Shiro Atsuris, Chagois, need a Chagoi obviously, Lou's favourite, French coin action. Anybody, so I'm looking for a Shiro Atsuri, Chagoi, Hai Atsuri, possibly a Ki Atsuri, and Gorobao maybe. Anybody sees one on their travels around the shops, see a nice one, drop it in the comments, let me know where to go and start looking and I'll have a look. So that's it for me for this session. I say quick catch up. Hopefully next time I'll have something a bit more exciting to talk to you about. So thank you very much. Enjoy your ponds, stay safe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you. Cheers.